Hey everybody, Dynamite for Classy Octopus here. For a while now, I've been wanting to do a new series about movies and movie news because that's just one of the strong passions of my life. And since I'm pen and pencil, which is coming back by the way, it's more about writing in general, I decided that I should make something else for this particular subject. Really, this is just for me to either geek out on films or overanalyze them, and probably both. So anyway, let's get on to our very first topic. If you saw my last video, you know that I am very, very excited for the Power Rangers movie coming out next year. In other words, it's morphing time. And really, there's a lot to get excited about. There's been a lot of things that people go crazy about, and they're like, what? But I'm just like, no, that's actually good. That means this movie will probably be good. First off, let's talk about those outfits that everybody was talking about. Everybody was saying, ooh, it looks like Iron Man and Alien, and it was just like, well, yeah, that actually makes sense. Here's the thing. Zordon made the suits for the Rangers, and Zordon is an alien from the planet Eltar, so that just means that they're gonna keep his origin and probably the main story intact. And one big thing that people kept glossing over while they were saying that these are the new gritty Power Ranger outfits, one thing they seemed to neglect was that these outfits are very, very colorful. I mean, aside from the Black Ranger's outfit, but still, these are very vibrant colors. The blue is a bright blue. It's not a grayish blue. The yellow is a bright yellow. It's not a reddish, blackish yellow. And the pink is pink, for Pete's sake. I mean, for real, it's just like, of course they look alien, and of course they look like Iron Man. They're alien armor. Plain and simple. I mean, yes, I am a sucker for the old spandex Power Rangers just because they look silly and awesome at the same time, but in a big blockbuster movie sense, they would have armor on. They even got that in the first Power Rangers movie, that their suits should look more like armor. Second, let's talk about casting. Yes, there's the Rangers themselves, and they were going for mostly unknowns. I mean, yes, they've done some TV work in some movies before, but they were still kind of going for unknowns. The big casting news was in the villain and in their leader. Let's talk about Elizabeth Banks for Rita Repulsa. The thing about Rita is in her very first episode, she escapes from her prison that looks like a trash can, and then to celebrate, she decides to take over Earth while she's on the moon. It is insane, and I love it. Elizabeth Banks, I think, can bring the insaneness to this movie. She's a very good comedic actress. I always think of her for her episodes on 30 Rock, and just think of that craziness and maybe mix it with Meryl Streep's hamminess from Into the Woods, and we got a good Rita Repulsa right there. I think Elizabeth Banks can bring that easily. The outfit is fine. I didn't really mind it. Again, it looks like an alien, and it still has strange colors to it. It's not a just bland outfit of just, I still look very human in just somewhat strange clothes that are still black. No, this is an alien creature that is going to attack the Rangers, and it's awesome. And next, let's talk about the most recent casting news. Bryan Cranston as Zordon! Again, last video for my feelings on this. I mean, do I really have to say much about it? Zordon is supposed to be this great leader, and he's gonna be in a tube, and it's gonna be crazy, and Bryan Cranston is just an amazing actor, and he's been bringing it to every project he's been in. I mean, say what you will about his stuff in Godzilla being short-sighted, but he was still really good for the parts he was in. Should I put up semi-spoilers for a movie that came out 2 years ago? Sorry. Finally, let's talk about the most recent update of this Power Rangers movie. They came out with their first teaser poster, which is really the first advertisement they've done for this, rather than casting news and the image of the costumes. The tagline is absolutely perfect. Together, we are more. That's what I want to hear from a Power Rangers movie. Because the thing about Power Rangers through every season is it's always been about teamwork. Yes, this is a show geared towards kids, and yes, it's got to teach them a moral, but really, what better moral do you need? Together we can solve our problems more efficiently than if we combat it alone. That's what Power Rangers has always been about. I mean, it's a better tagline than them using teenagers with attitude. While that would have been a fun, that's what they said in the past kind of thing gag, it would have made me a little more irksome. Here's the thing, with all these movies coming out that placate to nostalgia and having to force feed these catchphrases, they never feel that natural. I mean, sure, it happens sometimes, but it's just like, oh, if we say enough things, you'll give this movie a pass, right? So with this phrase being used instead, I think it's gonna be awesome. And then the poster itself showing the teenagers all on top of a car and, you know, one kid off to the side, I'm just like, okay, they're really gonna play up the teenage aspect, which is actually cool. As much as I love Marvel movies and what DC hopefully will eventually do in their movies, one thing that's kind of missing is the whole teenager superhero aspect, which is why I'm excited about Spider-Man's upcoming movie placing him in high school. Yes, I am older than a teenager now, but I think there's a lot of things you can do with that but modern movies are not tapping into. I mean, sure, you had Chronicle, but that didn't really focus on having to balance school, friends, and family, and saving the world at the same time. Again, another reason why I've liked Power Rangers in the first place. Anyway, with this and many other things about this movie considered, I'm looking forward to next year. Does all this guarantee it will be a perfect movie? No, of course not. I'm just saying that my hopes are high with evidence backing it. That's all. What do you guys think about the upcoming Power Rangers movie? Go ahead and let me know, and if you liked this video, go ahead and subscribe to Classy Octopus on YouTube. I'll see you next time. Stay awesome.